Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. We've got some Optavia on our hands today. It's been a little while since I've reacted to Optavia. If you're not familiar with them, they are a health and wellness MLM, multi-level marketing company, network marketing company. Some would refer to them as a pyramid scheme.
Diet pyramid scheme?
They are very problematic in the sense that they encourage people on their diet to eat an incredibly low amount of calories. This specific call that we're reacting to is a kickoff call, and it's sure to pack a punch. So we're gonna get right the f into it right after this disclaimer. I do want to put a trigger warning really quickly before we do get into the call that this is going to deal with things that may trigger anybody who deals with eating disorders, body dysmorphia, disordered eating, anything like that. So please exit this video if that is something that triggers you. I do have a full playlist that is trigger warning free that I will link up in the corner here and also in the description so you can feel safe over there, and I will see you over there. Everyone else, we're getting the into it.
Hello and welcome to your Decide, Commit, Succeed Optavia kickoff call. My name is Misty Hendren, and I'm going to be walking you through this kickoff today. This is me and my husband. One of the really cool things about Optavia is that we have a plan for everyone. My whole family did Optavia together when we first started program a few years ago. I wanted to lose about 10 pounds, and I went on our 4 and 2 program. My husband went on to lose 80 pounds on our 5-1 program, and my teenage daughter used our teen program and lost about 40 pounds. So
what the f? That's a great way to enforce body dysmorphia, eating disorders, anything like that into a child before they're even old enough to love their own body and understand how to take care of it. What? You put your teenage daughter on this? Please no. I don't think personally, in my opinion, that any individual human being should be put on an Optavia diet, whether it's 4 and 2, 5 and 1, whatever the f. That's just not the way to go. It's not the way to go. You're not eating real fresh food. You're not eating enough. It's just, please no, please God no.
There truly is a program for everyone on Optavia. Today on our kickoff call, this is an overview of all the things we're going to cover. We are going to cover the 4 different components: your coach, the habits of health transformation system, the Optavia community, and the structured nutrition. First of all, let's talk about your coach. So your coach is here to support you on this journey. We have been exactly where you are, and so we want you to be successful, and we are here to help hold you accountable. It is our job as your coach to help empower you, to keep you moving forward on the path to success. So please do not ghost us. Do not turtle.
Where'd he go?
Do not hide from us. We generally know that when our clients stop responding, it's because they've done something off plan, but that is exactly the time that you need to reach out to your coach the most, because we have been where you are and we're here to help you through it.
What? If you have to ghost your coach, please do so, especially if they're an Optavia coach promoting unhealthy eating habits or an unhealthy lifestyle in general. They will hunt you the f down if you try to ghost them. That's terrifying. Also, you may have been where we were in the past, but let's not forget the fact that most of the people that have joined Optavia to be a quote-unquote coach are not credentialed through anything to be giving health advice, whether it's nutrition advice, fitness advice, any of those types of things. They're not credentialed. They have not been trained. They likely don't have any kind of education behind them aside from the literature that Optavia provided for them when they joined this bullshit MLM/pyramid scheme, in my opinion. So, ghost the f out of them if you want to. They're just in it for the money, in my opinion. Because if you really wanted to help people, you would go and get credentialed in a way that you can really help people and know the science behind the things that you want to help people with. Okay? Okay.
The next component of the program is our habits of health system. This truly is a transformational system. First, we make our habits, and then our habits make us. You receive 2 large books in your box, the first one being your life book. So this life book is yours. It is there to help you rewrite your story. It's kind of like a journal that you can go through all the different elements. It is designed to help you record the journey of your new, healthier life Each element is going to teach and reinforce the different macro and micro habits of health that you're forming while in the weight loss phase, so that when you're done with the weight loss phase, you have formed those new habits and you can be able to maintain that throughout the rest of your life. The second book you're going to get is Dr. A's Habits of Health. The Habits of Health really is the science behind the program. This book is also going to help you beyond weight loss because it's going to lead you to optimize your health and well-being for longevity.
And let's not forget that those things are all formatted in a way that are one size fits all, which we all know by now, or we should know by now, that health is not a one size fits all approach. You can't just throw a book at somebody and expect them to change everything and be the healthiest version of themselves. I would argue that Optavia's books, especially the ones from Dr. A, are going to make things worse for you. If you're not familiar with Dr. A, I did do a full Optavia deep dive. I think it was either 2 or 3 parts way back that I'll link in the description. Dr. A is a physician. Cool, right? But a lot of times people overlook what physicians are specialized in. He was, I believe it was intensive care, ICU. I don't recall exactly. Again, I go over all of that in my deep dive, but it wasn't a nutrition expert in any sense. And I will tell you that from experience, when I was working in the emergency room, the doctors in the emergency department do not like to give detailed advice on diets and things like that. They will actually consult or have the patient consult with a registered dietitian, which is the correct route to go if you really want to target your dietary health and your nutrition and get advice that is customized to you and your body. You always want to look for things like that, like registered dietitians. There are different specialties that will have the knowledge behind what they're saying, but even if you go, when I was working, I worked a lot of places, okay? I like to experience different things. Even when I was working in a primary care physician office, they would refer them out to a nutritionist or a registered dietitian or a diabetic center for diabetes training. Like, there are different specialties that they're specifically trained on these things. And Dr. A is not one of those people from his credentials that I researched in my deep dive. Just saying.
The third component is the Optavia community. Community is the foundation to success. This is the very best place for you to go to get tips, tricks, recipes, inspiration, motivation. We have our own exclusive Facebook page that you have hopefully been invited to. If not, reach out to your coach and ask them to invite you. It is called Decide, Commit, Succeed. We also have weekly community calls that we call Coffee with Clients. These are our support calls. We have one every Friday morning and one every Sunday evening. This is unique and special to our team. Not all Optavia teams have this, so this is something special that we do because we want to support our clients better. And our clients that attend are by far the most successful. So plan to attend at least one of those a week. You can also be on the lookout for some roundtables, some support calls, some different coach explores, and special pop-up meetings. These will always be announced on our Decide, Commit, Succeed Facebook page as well. So you can make sure you see them there, and I'm sure your coach will share them with you as well. If you love personal growth, you might also consider coaching.
Absolutely not.
No, please don't. Please don't. Just because you love personal growth doesn't mean you should become a health coach. Please, God, no. This needs to go away. Oh my God, it makes me so fucking mad.
So let's talk about the fourth component of the program, which is our structured nutrition. We are stabilizing blood sugar. So
how you know that? Are you testing blood sugar? Because I'm pretty sure you're not. Because if you're not a physician or a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant or any of those things, you cannot be ordering blood work to confirm that this is happening. Are people testing their blood sugars? How the fuck? What the fuck? Where the fuck? Who the fuck? All of the fucks.
So the premise of this program is all around blood sugar stability and naturally suppressing your appetite. We are going to increase meal frequency because that is a proven system for long-term weight management. You're going to be fueling your body with all of the necessary vitamins, minerals. You're going to have balanced carbs and proteins, and our fuelings are all going to be low fat and low glycemic. This is going to create the ideal state of metabolism, which is going to turn off the metabolic switches that create fat storage. So following this nutrition exactly will put your body into a state that we call fat burn.
or muscle burn because you're not eating enough. We're not going to address that, are we?
Of course not.
Okay, so when we're talking about the different diet plans that Optavia offers, the one that I like to address most is the 5-in-1 plan. They call it 5-in-1 because you eat 5 fuelings from Optavia, which are like granola bars, popcorn, a brownie, oatmeal, things like that, like prepackaged shit that you're getting from Optavia, and then you eat 1 meal with protein and veggies. Like we're talking plain chicken, which you'll see here shortly that you can't even use a lot of condiments. Plain chicken with broccoli. You could have that once a day, and then the rest is all packaged bullshit. If you're eating that small amount, sometimes it's as low as 900-ish calories that these people are eating. You are going to be losing weight on the scale, sure, but the likelihood of that being muscle weight is very, very high because you're not eating enough. So if you're not fueling your body with the correct nutrition that you need, which even though she's saying that
you're getting all of the micros and macros that you need in the fueling,
that's a load of bullshit. I've done the math again in my deep dive where you're definitely not getting what you need in those prepackaged fuelings at all. You're just not. You need to be eating clean, healthy, delicious food to be able to maintain a state where you're losing weight, but not all of your muscle. When you're in a weight loss phase, you're gonna lose muscle. It's the way it goes. It sucks. That's why we have to not always be in a weight loss phase. But you should not be losing a ton of muscle, which is what the Optavia people are doing when they're on the 5-in-1 plan from what I've seen. It's just an unsafe way to lose weight.
So fat burn, what is fat burn and what are the signs of it? How will you know if you get there? So first of all, it takes your body about 3 to 5 days to get into fat burn. Your initial weight loss before you get into fat burn is mostly going to be water weight that first few days. But when you get into fat burn, you're going to notice a few things. So you will notice that your cravings start to diminish. You're going to have extra energy. You're going to feel great. You're going to sleep more soundly. You're going to be losing weight at a steady rate. And sometimes people find that they feel a little bit colder when they get into that fat burning state. But anytime you eat off plan, you do jeopardize your fat burning state. And it does take your body about 3 to 4 days to get back into that fat burning state.
This is horseshit.
Oh my God. What the anytime you eat off plan. So you have to stick to these lean and green, bland bullshit meals and prepackaged food. And if not, then you're teaching these people that ultimately they're screwed for 3 to 4 days at least. That's not true. If you're new, if this is the first video you're ever watching from me, I'm very passionate about health in all senses, and I like to learn a lot about health. So I have become a certified nutrition coach. And as a certified nutrition coach, I can tell you that all food is good food, okay? That's where we want to start when it comes to a mindset about food. As long as you're not binging or anything, eating to the point where you feel like you're going to be sick, and those things need to be addressed by a physician. All food is good food, as long as you can control what you're eating. You want a slice of cake? Have a fucking slice of cake. You're not going to gain all the weight back that you've lost. It takes way more than that to gain the weight back that you've lost. Even if you have that slice of cake and you say step on the scale the next day and you're maybe 1 pound heavier, that's not fat. It's not. It's water weight from whatever you may have eaten the day before. Maybe you didn't drink enough water. Maybe you had more salt in your day than you're used to. Those things all contribute to your fluctuation in weight. You're not going to gain a ton of weight back just from having a slice of cake and going off plan. Stop this narrative. If she was trained as a nutrition coach or dietitian, she would know these things. But since she just paid to join Optavia, she just paid the join fee, she thinks this is true, and she's telling all of the people that are joining her in Optavia that this is true. This is no way to live.
That is why we put these 2 little charts on the left-hand side here. The top one is going to show you what it looks like when you consistently stay in fat burn once you get there. You're going to have all of those days of fat burning. The one on the bottom, in contrast, is going to show you what happens if you get into fat burn and then you decide on Friday or Saturday you want to have something off plan, and then you kick yourself out of fat burn. Then Monday you're back on plan and you finally get back into fat burn by Thursday, and then you go off on plan again on the weekend. So that is why we actually Want to make sure you don't do that. That is not the way you want to fuel your fat burn. We want you to have consistent fat burn throughout the whole month. And that is one reason that we have this behavioral change that we try to get all of our clients to do. This is a healthy mindset. We have something called Stop, Challenge, Choose. You should have already received the link to the ebook from your coach. If you haven't, you can reach out to your coach and ask for that. But by learning to stop, challenge, choose, we are setting ourselves up for success. So what do we mean by this? So stop what you're doing. If you're looking at having something off plan, we want you to stop. We then want you to challenge yourself to understand your choice. So we want you to understand that if you make that off-plan choice, it's going to take you several days to get back into fat burn and decide kind of like, is it worth it?
It's just not true. She keeps saying it. Like, the more she says it, the dumber it fucking sounds. Man, I just need a moment.
Woosah. Woosah. Woosah.
What the if you're moving your body and you're in a calorie deficit of some sort, if it's safe for you to be in a calorie deficit of some sort, that is a safe calorie deficit, you will be burning fat. It's not, this is a myth. What? It's not going to take you 3 to 4 days to get back into fat burning mode. No. Just know your body burns calories. Like, I'm burning calories right now just sitting here. You're burning calories just breathing, just blinking, just sleeping. You're burning calories doing all of those things. So to tell someone that just because they had a meal that was off plan of Optavia, that they are no longer going to be in the fat burn stage for 3 to 4 days is a crock of bullshit.
Then we ultimately want you to choose health is the ultimate goal. And so by learning to stop, challenge, choose, you're putting yourself in a position to know how to control your response to any negative feeling or emotion, not just with food, but this is going to help you in your day-to-day life as well. So let's talk about fueling. So that box of fuelings that you got to your house. So fuelings are used to properly fuel your body. So you're going to be having 5 of those prepackaged meals and 1 scoop of our EAAs, or our essential amino acids. It is critical to eat all 5 of your fuelings every day as scheduled.
Because without the fuelings, they won't be making money, right? You need people to reorder.
Your weight loss will be slower if you don't. The fuelings, however, are interchangeable. So you can eat them in any order you want throughout the day. You can have a brownie for breakfast if you want to. You can also have one for lunch or for dinner. It really doesn't matter as long as you're having all 5 of them every single day.
I want to address that really quick. If you're having a brownie for breakfast, cool. Like I said, all food is good food. But ultimately, what we want to do when we're in a state of wanting to change our health, maybe we're wanting to gain more muscle, burn more fat, whatever it is, you want to retrain your body in how to actually eat whole foods and healthier choices before going for the brownie. Not saying that you can't have the brownie. Again, have the brownie, just in moderation. This is not teaching you that. This is giving you substitutes, if you want to call them that, to these higher calorie choices and just letting you have them throughout the day instead of learning what your body needs. When you're doing things to change your body composition, you need to learn how to fuel your body in order to get the result that you want, right? This is not doing that for you. Without Optavia fuelings at this point, you have no idea what to do. That is why I always recommend working with a nutritionist or a dietitian before jumping on these meal plans, because you're not learning how to do this on your own. And when this is gone, one day it will be, when this option is gone, what are you going to do? You still have no idea how to fuel your body and enjoy indulgences, is that a word? It is now. In moderation. So that's a problem. We need to focus more on the education of learning how to fuel your specific body the way it needs to be fueled, and not a one size fits all, here's your meal plan and prepackaged meals. That's not a healthy way to live.
We do want you to make sure you're eating your first fueling within 30 minutes of waking up. We do want to go ahead and just get that metabolism jump started a little bit. So you can have a fueling with your lean and green as well. If you want to split up your lean and green and have, like, maybe it's Thanksgiving and you want to have some of turkey and one of your mashed potato fuelings with that lean and green, that's totally fine to do as long as you're splitting it up. You're still eating 6 times a day. So after your first fueling, you're going to be eating a fueling every 2 to 3 hours. We do recommend that you set alarms to remind yourself. We get busy with day-to-day life. We're in meetings, we're running kids around at drop-off, we're grocery shopping, we're cleaning the house. We get busy and we just forget to eat sometimes. And so it is very important that you go ahead and set those alarms so that you don't forget one of your fuelings. Trust us, you will begin to not be hungry sometimes and you'll forget to have that fueling. So what happens if you do miss one? So if you do miss a fueling or you're, 30 minutes, an hour late on it, go ahead and have it as soon as you can. Go ahead and have the fueling. And then you have a couple options. You can either adjust your timings as needed. You can bump the other fuelings back, or you can go ahead and just have your next one as planned, as long as you're having those. So try not to go more than the 3 hours between fuelings, but if it happens, have it as soon as you can. On the right-hand side, you're going to see a typical schedule. So this is what a typical schedule might look for someone that, say, wakes up at 7 a.m. So say I wake up at 7 a.m. I'm going to have my first fueling and my EAAs at 7:30. I'm going to have fueling 2 at 10 a.m. I'm going to have fueling 3 at 1 p.m. I'm going to have fueling 4 at 3:30. My lean and green I'm going to have for dinner with my family at 6, and then I'm going to have my last fueling of the night at 9, sorry, my last fueling at 9. You are going to be able to work this schedule to what works best for you. So if you have a rock in your schedule, like maybe you have a certain time that you go to lunch at work, or you have a certain time that your family eats dinner, you're going to be able to work forward and backward with your schedule in mind and kind of get your schedule worked out. You may have to have your first fueling before 7:30 because you may wake up at 5 a.m. So work with your coach on that. You can always send your coach your schedule and we're happy to look over that and see if it looks correct.
What are you doing? Just dividing the time? As a coach, you don't have any training on when these people should be eating. How are they still getting away with this? With 1 meal a day of chicken and vegetables? No. Learning how to eat healthy consists of eating real food throughout the day, not prepackaged food for most of the day, and then one real food meal sprinkled in. Maybe it's the public school system that needs help when it comes to eating and health. Maybe that's where we went wrong. How are we believing that this is true? How are people actually like,
Oh yeah, that makes sense. 5 prepackaged meals a day and then 1 whole food meal.
what? That's not logical.
Nope.
Not even a little.
The Optavia app. So if you have not already downloaded the Optavia app, we actually suggest that you do that today. The app has so many wonderful features. It's going to help you track your journey. You can discover some on-plan recipes. You can log your weight. You can view our dining out guide, and so much more is right at your fingertips. They have really done an amazing job with the app, so we highly recommend that you get it. So let's talk about lean and green. So our lean and green is our healthy whole food eating. So you can refer to pages 14 to 16 in your spiral guide that you got in your box as well. The lean and green is the building block for long-term whole food eating. This is like our training wheels. You are learning with your lean and green to eat healthy for life. I have been at my goal weight for 3 years and I still eat a lean and green every single night. I just have a few things in addition to my lean and green, but my plate still looks like a lean and green every single night. What the lean and green is, so you're gonna have a piece of meat, poultry, fish, or a vegetarian protein option along with your vegetables or a salad. You can enjoy your lean and green at any time you want throughout the day, whatever works best for your schedule. Maybe you want to have it at dinner time with your family, but maybe one day you have a work lunch that you want to go to and you want to move your lean and green to lunchtime. Totally fine. You can move it around. You could have it at 10 a.m. brunch as well. So whenever works best for your schedule.
Protein and vegetable or salad. Cool. Carbs are not evil. Just want to let you know that. Carbs are good, especially if you're working out, moving your body, building muscle, wanting to tone more. You need the carbs to build the muscle.
Preach to him, Mary, preach.
Am I saying go out and eat a skillet cookie every every night or have, I don't know, half your plate full of mashed potatoes? Absolutely not. Have a little bit of each thing with focus on protein. Always focus on protein. That's what I always say. That's what I try to do every day. Focus on protein, and then also make sure that you're getting your carbs in, your fats in. You still want to pay attention to those things that you're eating. You still need carbs to have a healthy, fit body. You need those things. Have some mashed potatoes with your dinner if you want to. Have a sweet potato. Have some rice, some pasta. Those things are not evil. Carbs are good. Your body needs carbs. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So let's talk about the protein, the lean. What does that look like? So some tips for your lean proteins. Your portion sizes of your proteins are always going to be for cooked weights. You're going to be choosing meats that are grilled, baked, broiled, poached, or air fried, never deep fried. Lean protein sources are going to be seafood, meat, poultry, or some of the meatless options as well. And then each week, try to eat at least 2 servings of protein rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, tilapia, mahi-mahi. That is a suggestion. If you are allergic to fish, that's okay, but this is just a suggestion for healthy eating. Let's talk about the categories of proteins. So our proteins are going to be categorized into 3 different fat contents. So we're going to have a leanest, a leaner, and a lean. Something from our leanest category is going to be something like shrimp. If you're having something from that category like shrimp, you're going to have 7 ounces cooked portion, and you're going to need to add 2 servings of a healthy fat. Say you're having something from our leaner category, like a grilled chicken breast. You're going to need to have 6 ounces cooked portion, and you need to add 1 serving of healthy fats. If you're having something from our lean category, like a filet mignon or salmon, you have 5 ounces cooked portion, and you don't need to add any additional healthy fats. That meat has enough healthy fat in it. So what is a healthy fat? A healthy fat serving contains about 5 grams of fat and less than about 5 grams of carbohydrates. There is a complete list of the healthy fat options in your spiral guide, so you can refer to that. But the number of healthy fats you need is going to depend on the protein that you've chosen for your meal, like we've explained in the slide before. Healthy fats do include specific amounts of different types of oils, salad dressings, avocados, nut butters, mayonnaise, stuff like that. There's a whole list in your spiral guide, and you can choose to have them anytime throughout the day. So if you want to have, like, say, some of your almonds earlier in the day because you know you're having shrimp for dinner, you can do that. Just make sure that you don't skip your healthy fats. They are not optional. If you're having a protein from the leaner or leanest category, you absolutely have to have those healthy fats because your body needs them to help break down the proteins. So another option that you can have for your protein is our whey protein. So our whey protein comes in both chocolate and vanilla. And if you're on our 5-in-1 program, you can actually use a scoop of our whey protein as half of a leanest protein. And so if you're running late or a busy schedule and you need to get some protein in, maybe you're running low on proteins that you have at home or something like that, our whey protein is going to come in super handy for that. Whey protein also helps curb your hunger. So that's another thing you can do. With resistance exercise as well, whey protein is going to help us build muscle mass and strength. So it is just a great option that Optavia has for us nowadays. All right, so weighing your lean and green. It is very important and it is key to your success. Weighing your lean and green is more accurate than simply taking a volume measurement. So you might take a half a cup and put 2 florets of broccoli, and I might chop mine up small and get a whole lot more in there. And so we want to make sure that we are always weighing our protein and our vegetables. If you've never used a food scale before, this might be new to you. So let me give you a little tip on how to do that. So first of all, you're going to want to put your plate on your scale and hit the tare or 0 button. Once it goes to 0, maybe you want to add your protein. So in this picture, I added my chicken breast. Once I got to 6 ounces.
This is the only thing I might agree with ever. So when I'm really focused on either building my muscle or losing weight, like I want to do really good for whatever time period that I'm in, I have 2 food scales and I utilize them. This is something that also comes with like doing it repetitively, daily. You start to be able to eyeball your food and know what weighs what after doing it for so long. However, I do agree with utilizing a food scale if you're really trying to teach your body, teach yourself how to fuel your body. It's super helpful. I don't think that it needs to be so precise or so I can't go out to eat because I don't have my food scale. Like, we don't need to do that. If you're home and you have your food scale and you're trying to work on your body composition, it is something that I do recommend utilizing, just in a healthy way, not so neurotic, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. You don't have to always be weighing your food all of the time, unless again, you're going into a fitness competition, which I have feelings on those, or something like that. Basically, what I wanted to say is that I don't fully disagree with weighing your food. I think it's a helpful tool to use. Okay, moving on.
I hit my 0 button again, or my tear button, and then I added my green beans. Once I got to the amount of green beans I needed, I think it's 2.4 ounces, then I hit my 0 button again. And
that, for example, I don't weigh my veggies. I don't weigh my fruits. It's not something I'm really overeating anyway, and I don't think there are a lot of people who are overeating them. I don't think it's necessary to weigh your fruits and veggies. Those are healthy options, and I think that eat them until you're full if that's what you want to eat. I don't think we have to weigh them all the time.
Added my next vegetable, so on and so forth. Every time you're adding a new one, you just zero it out, and it helps you make sure you're getting the proper weight of all of your proteins and your veggies. Another option that you have is our Flavor of Homes meals. Those are ready to eat lean and green meals, and let me tell you, they come in clutch in a pinch. So I always keep a couple of those in my pantry. If I'm ever running late or if I'm traveling and I just want an easy option, I can pull one of those out of the pantry. They're all shelf stable. There are several different options that you can choose from. You could also choose to put those in your next box if you want to have some of those on hand. So let's talk about condiments. So optional condiments, you get up to 3 optional condiments per day. Excuse me? On our 5-in-1 program. You can use condiments to add flavor and zest to your meals. Just remember that they do contribute to the overall carbohydrate intake. A condiment serving should contain no more than 30 calories and no more than 1 gram of carbohydrates per serving. You don't really need to add or to count dried herbs. They're going to be listed in your condiments and healthy fats list, but dried herbs don't really count much carbohydrates or calories, and they have a lot of health benefits. So you can use as many dried herbs as you want. So feel free to add on the rosemary, thyme, basil, anything like that to spice up your meals, and they don't need to count towards your condiments.
Do I really need to say anything?
Nope. But you're gonna, huh?
Unless you're slathering your food in mayo or what else? I don't know, barbecue sauce. Like, you are literally dripping your food in the condiments. Just use condiments if you want to. What the fuck? 1 gram of carbs? Sometimes I just want to reach through our computer screen and anyway, let's go.
All right, so cheese. Let's talk a little bit about cheese. Cheese on the 5-in-1 plan can be worked in a few different ways. You can use it as a condiment, you can use it as a healthy fat, or as part of your lean protein. As coaches, we do recommend that you wait about a week to incorporate cheese into your program, back into your diet, just because it takes a little while to get the hang of it. And so when you're ready, you can reach out to your coach, or you can revert to your Optavia guide, page 23, or you can also check on your Decide, Commit, Succeed Facebook page to figure out how to measure and weigh and use cheese in your diet.
Cheese is the glue that holds life together, okay? That's what I always say.
So remember, I love cheesy poops, you love cheesy poops.
If you want to eat cheese, cheese is good. Cheese is good. You can eat that immediately. What? Please wait and consult with your coach who has no training whatsoever in this area of life. What are we doing?
Optional snacks is another one. So you get 1 optional snack per day. So unlike the healthy fats, which are not optional, this snack is optional. So you can choose to have 1 optional snack per day. If you are on the 5-in-1 active and you are using our EAAs, the EAAs take the place of a different optional snack. So that is your optional snack if you are using our EAAs. If you are not using our EAAs, you have some options to use the Optavia branded popcorn, the Optavia branded puffed ranch. Those can all be found under snacks and more when you're putting your next order in. You can also do some things that you can find at the grocery store. You can do like 3 celery stalks. You can do 2 dill pickle spears. You can do a sugar-free Jell-O, stuff like that.
3 celery stalks? First of all, you won't find me eating celery. Barf. It's boring and just not satisfying. 3 celery stalks though? That's all you're allowed if you do like celery? Like I said, if you're eating a veggie, just eat it till you're full. Eat it till you don't want anymore. There's no problem with that. It's not gonna make you gain weight. What the f?
There's a whole list on page 18 in your guide of some other things that you can have. Many coaches do caution against having nuts as your optional snack, though. We have found that a lot of our clients have a hard time sticking to the portion size for nuts. It is literally counting out 10 almonds and that is your snack. It's not grabbing a handful. So
do you cut them in half too? Wow, this is such a dangerous thing to do to people.
If you choose to have the nuts as your optional snack, just make sure you're sticking to the recommended serving size. All right, let's talk beverages. So staying hydrated is our goal. So our bodies cannot store water, so we have to replenish it often. We recommend that you drink 1 glass as soon as you wake up. And then we recommend that you have 80 to 100 ounces or about half your body weight in water per day. Water does so many amazing things for us. It minimizes fatigue. It helps us with lack of energy. It helps us not to have headaches. It helps us with unclear thinking. And it also is going to help you feel full and satisfied, especially as your body adjusts to the program. We also recommend that you try our Optavia calorie burn infusers or the Ultima electrolytes. They do count towards your water intake for the day. And so, you know, maybe with 100 ounces of water, you're kind of getting tired of the taste of water and you want to spice it up with something else. You can add one of those calorie burn infusers or the Ultima to your water, and it still counts towards your ounces of water per day. Another pro tip is drink 20 ounces of water with each fueling, and then you're to your goal. So maybe you need to break it up like that, some kind of goal to give yourself. So sodas and seltzer waters are another option you have. So flavored seltzer waters are fine to drink on plan. They do not count towards your water intake for the day though. So you can have them as long as you've already had your 100 ounces of water or you make sure you get it all in.
Please stop talking.
Okay, what? Oh my God. If you drink seltzer, if you drink flavored seltzer water, count it toward your fluid for the day, okay? If that's your way of getting water in, it's better than nothing, okay? Okay.
So that is in addition to your 100 ounces of water. We do recommend that you avoid diet sodas as much as possible, just because they are not helpful to our bodies, and you're gonna have a lot more success if you do. Coffees and teas. So you can use, if you're a coffee or a tea drinker, you can use some condiments like non-dairy creamer, unsweetened almond, cashew milk, or you can mix one of your Optavia shakes in your fueling, your Optavia fueling shake into your coffee. That's what a lot of clients like to do because then they don't have to use any condiments to sweeten and cream their coffee. They're just using a fueling, but you can use some of the other non-dairy creamers and stuff like that. Just make sure you're accounting for those and you're making sure you're using the correct ones and you're taking them away from your 3 condiments for the day. Unsweetened tea is fine to drink.
You're only allowed 3 condiments. So you can't have fries. Can you have meatloaf? I don't know. What can you eat? You're really limited on this diet. Say you have meatloaf, right? I don't know. It's a lean meatloaf. We're not putting any carbs of any sort. It's just a loaf of meat. Literally, because you can't put anything else in it. God forbid there's too many onions. If you're somebody who eats your meatloaf with ketchup and you're planning to have meatloaf that night, you have to make sure that you don't have 3 other condiments during the day because then your ketchup is null and void and you can't eat the ketchup. I like the world where I can eat ketchup and mustard and mayo and use cream in my coffee if I did use cream in my coffee and salt my food and have tartar sauce with my fish. Use the fucking condiments. They're fine.
We do recommend that you limit your caffeine to no more than 3 servings per day and none after noon. Alcohol is another one. So alcohol, we say avoid alcohol while on the 5-in-1 plan. It causes dehydration, it slows your weight loss, and it is a powerful appetite stimulant, which is not what we want. So no alcohol is actually on plan. If you choose to drink, we do recommend that you pick something like a vodka, a clear tequila, or a gin. Have it with a seltzer water or a 0-calorie soda, something like that. But absolutely no wine, beer, or dark liquor. It will instantly kick you out of fat burn, and don't overdo it. Just because you were used to having a drink before and it didn't affect you, it may affect you differently now. You're having a lot less calories than you're used to, and your body is getting used to fat burn. And so you may metabolize your alcohol differently as well. All right, your first week, while your body adjusts, you could notice some of these things. So the first one is hunger. Hunger in the beginning is mostly a mental thing. We are breaking the habit of eating whenever we want to, eating larger portions. And so by breaking that habit, we are setting you up for success. Drink your water in between your fuelings.
No, you're having them jump headfirst into a 5-in-1 plan, potentially cutting their calories from, I don't know, maybe 2,000 calories a day to maybe 1,000 a day. And that is why they're hungry, because their body isn't used to it. But we're not going to address that part because, maybe you don't have the education behind you to address that part.
And consume your fueling slowly, like no more than about 15 minutes, but maybe take a bite of a bar, take a drink of water, take a bite of a bar, take a drink of water. That'll just help you as your body is adjusting. The next thing that sometimes people notice is headaches. In the first few days, you could experience a headache. If you get a headache, a lot of times it is likely due to an electrolyte imbalance while your body adjusts. That is why we recommend for at least the first 5 or so days, you drink either a Powerade Zero or Ultima electrolyte replacer every single day to help get your body to replenish those electrolytes so that you don't get a headache. You can also do the dill pickles. They count as your snack. They help with the sodium to get your electrolytes up as well.
So if you eat the dill pickles to help with your sodium, you cannot have another snack. It's fucking pickles. It's cucumbers, seasoned and pickled to be a pickle.
Baby, who wants a pickle? Pickles! I want pickles!
You're good.
If, say, for instance, you're stopping soda and you maybe have a caffeine headache, you can definitely still take ibuprofen or Tylenol if needed. Another thing that sometimes people experience when they start program is some tummy troubles. You could experience that because your body is going to be getting used to different levels of protein, fiber, sodium, and the probiotics that are in the fuelings. If you end up having any tummy troubles, coaches usually recommend something called Natural Calm by Vitality. It usually helps even things out. Things get better as it goes on. Just make sure you let your coach know. We have heard it all. It's never TMI. If you're having tummy troubles or anything, let us know and we'll help you through it. All right, let's talk about exercise. So healthy motion, this is one of our habits of health, right? So if you are not already exercising regularly when you start program, we do recommend waiting about 2 weeks to start building that healthy habit.
Red flag, red alert, sirens, run away. Anybody ever tells you not to work out and you didn't just have like major surgery or anything like that, run the away. You shouldn't have a time period when you start a diet where you're not supposed to be working out. Please don't do that. Please, that is a red fucking flag that you're not getting enough nutrients to support a body that is moving the way that it should be moving every day. Okay, thanks.
While on the 5-in-1 active, we recommend about 30 to 45 minutes of light to moderate exercise per day. Light to moderate means nothing that's making you huffing, puffing, or sweating. If you can hold a normal conversation, that's perfect for about 30 to 45 minutes.
I'm a sweater. Not like an article of clothing, but like I sweat when I work out.
Why am I sweating so much?
I will lift for arms or like barely be moving and I'm like sweating. That's just the way my body is. So if you use that as a marker for people not to do that thing, they're just not going to lift weights, which is not good for your body.
For those of you who are regularly exercising, we do say that you must start taking your EAAs, your essential amino acids, starting on day 1 to help you with that muscle recovery. All right, so what are those EAAs? If you're not one that started those or you don't know what they are, let's talk about those a little bit. So EAAs is essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are for everyone. They help retain lean muscle mass, and they aid with muscle protein synthesis. Some other benefits that people get from taking our EAAs daily is hair and nail growth, better focus, improved sleep, reduced soreness and joint pain, more energy. We lovingly call these magic powder because that is how we feel they are. We can notice such a difference with taking the EAAs. All right, let's talk journaling. Journaling is your accountability. So we want you to write down every single thing that crosses your lips. A detailed journal is going to help you and your coach with the conversation. If maybe things aren't going how you thought they would to, maybe something needs to be tweaked. You have a couple different options for journaling. In your spiral guide, there is a great journal with daily tips and space to track for your first 30 days. That's in the very back of your spiral guide. You can also find daily trackers like the one you see on the screen. Those are going to be on Decide, Commit, Succeed, the Facebook page. You can also reach out to your coach if you want something like that as well. But however you want to track is fine. You can also use an app like MyFitnessPal. We don't care as long as you write down everything you're having. In the event that we need to look it over, we can see if there's any kind of tweaks we need to make. All right, let's talk about healthy weight. So what's measured can be managed. So a Renfo scale, if you've never heard of one, is a must-have. You're going to be weighing yourself daily. Dr. A teaches us in the Habits of Health book that weighing yourself daily is a long-term strategy to a healthy weight.
I don't like that. Nope, don't do that. Personally, in my opinion, from the things that I've learned, the education that I've received, I don't agree with this theory. Maybe once a week, weigh yourself. If you're somebody that's comfortable with seeing that number every day and you're okay with it fluctuating up and down, because that is what a human body does. It fluctuates depending on hormones, food we eat, our movement for the day, all of those things. I used to be somebody who would see half a pound up and I would take extreme measures. And I don't want to see that happen to anybody else, especially if you're doing Optavia where you're not actually getting the medical attention, for lack of a better word, that you actually need. I'm more comfortable with telling people weigh yourself maybe once a week, maybe every other day, depending on where you are with your mindset on weight loss and health. I think a lot of that comes into effect here. More so, what I'm comfortable telling people to do more regularly is taking measurements with a tape measure to see like what's your waist at, what's your hips at, what is your chest at, your arms, like doing those things. Those will give you a better picture of what your body is doing when you're working on your health than a number on a scale will tell you. But I don't know. That's just me, I guess.
Weight management. The Renfo scale that you see on the bottom right is a game changer because it gives you 13 different pieces of information about your health. Your journey is about so much more than just the weight you're losing. We are reclaiming our health.
I have one of those scales and I love it, but I will say they're not 100% accurate. Those are ballpark numbers.
I know for my husband, when he lost 80 pounds, the Renfro scale said he aged in reverse. He actually added 8 years to, or he gained 8 years back of his life, according to our Renfro scale, which is really cool. And if you look at all these people on the left-hand side of your screen, this isn't how much these people lost overall. This is how much these people lost in 1 month. I mean, who wouldn't want to see some of those numbers your first month? So we're excited for you to see that too. All right, so quick answers. If you're looking for a quick answer, we've got an amazing place for you to go. Don't forget to search our Decide, Commit, Succeed Facebook group. So this is kind of what it looks like. You can use the search magnifying glass at the top of the page. Or you can ask a question to the community if it hasn't been asked before, like if you've searched your question and you can't find it. This is your group to engage in. We want you to share your wins. We want to hear about your non-scale victories because we love to cheer you on, and so do the other clients as well. So some things to remember. Okay, this is your journey. It is up to you. Food doesn't happen to you, and you do have the power to choose what you want to put into your body. Building healthy habits along your journey will help you gain control over all aspects of your life. And you will see food as fuel, not as an escape or a numbing agent. We want you to reward yourself along the way. It's exciting to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. We want you to reward yourself along the way. So what are some ways you can reward yourself that do not involve food? It's a habit that most of us have to celebrate and reward with food. We want to work on changing that habit. So think of some things you're going to use to reward yourself that aren't food. All right, stick to plan. So this is my amazing friend, Lindsay, and this is what happens, my friends, when you stick to plan. You've got this. If you make changes to the program, however, you will see changes to your results. So don't kind of sort of do plan, or you're going to kind of sort of get results. We want you to go all in. You are ready. You are equipped. Be sure to work in your life book. Join us on the Coffee with Clients Zoom calls and communicate with your coach daily. All you have to do is decide, then you commit, and you will succeed. I hope you enjoyed your kickoff. Get with your coach, ask any questions you might have, and we are so excited for you. Good luck.
Please don't fall for the shit. Ay, ay, ay. It's time for our palette cleanser. TikTok hates your bullshit.
Hey, man. Your license and registration, please?
I only got 4 minutes to save the world.
What? License and registration, please.
It's gonna be my...
I don't know what you're talking... What are you doing?
Bro, it's me. It's me.
I don't know who you are. Can you step out of the vehicle for me, please?
No.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to get out of the car right now. I can tell you've been drinking.
Oh, man, you don't... I get it. I am in my comeback era. This is like... This is not... Oh!
Not gonna ask you again, sir. Get out of the vehicle.
Have you ever seen The Social Network?
Sir, I'm 23.
Frick! This is gonna be so bad for the tour.
What tour?
The World Tour.
What?
My World Tour!
Yeah, cry me a river, man. Get out of the car.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. If you didn't know, apparently the cop that arrested or pulled over Justin Timberlake and arrested him had no idea who he was. So had to put that one in here. That TikTok account is linked in the description. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me while I talk a bunch of shit. And I will see you in the next one.